My parents mortgaged their house to bail out my sister after I had her arrested for forging Grandma's will. Now they're broke and she's still going to prison. Hi everyone! Today's story will blow your mind, but really quick, if you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button. Channel's been a bit quiet lately, and your support keeps it all going. Let's jump in. Original post. I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but here I am at 2 a.m., unable to sleep, needing to get this off my chest. My name is Michael, I'm 28, and my older sister Jennifer just tried to steal my inheritance through document forgery. What she doesn't know yet is that I've already set the wheels in motion to destroy her legally and financially. Let me give you the background. Our grandmother Patricia passed away 18 months ago. She was an incredible woman who built a successful real estate business from nothing in the 1970s. When she died, she left behind several properties and investments. The crown jewel was her Victorian house in San Francisco, a beautiful 4-bedroom property worth approximately $2.8 million. Grandma Patricia and I had always been close. I spent summers with her as a kid, helped her with the business when I was in college, and was the only grandchild who visited regularly during her final years. Jennifer, on the other hand, barely showed up except when she needed money. She'd sweet-talk Grandma into loans that were never repaid, always with some sob story about her failed business ventures or her toxic ex-husband's debts. When the will was read, Jennifer received $500,000 in cash and some investment accounts. I received the San Francisco house and a smaller rental property. The disparity was clear. Grandma knew who had been there for her. Jennifer smiled through the reading, hugged me, and said she was happy for me. I should have known something was wrong. For the past year, I've been living in the house, slowly renovating it while maintaining my job as a software engineer. The property taxes and maintenance were significant, but I was managing. Then, 3 weeks ago, everything changed. I received a notice from the county recorder's office about a correction to the property deed. According to the documents, the house had been transferred to Jennifer 6 months before Grandma died. The paperwork included a quitclaim deed with what appeared to be my grandmother's signature and a notarized transfer document. My first reaction was confusion. My second was rage. The signature looked close to Grandma's, but something was off. The date on the document was from when Grandma was in the hospital with pneumonia, barely conscious. I knew immediately what Jennifer had done. I called Jennifer, trying to stay calm. She answered cheerfully, as if nothing had happened. "Oh, Michael. I've been meaning to call you. There's been a mix-up with Grandma's estate. Turns out she transferred the house to me before she passed. Her lawyer must have overlooked it." "Jennifer, we both know that's not true," I said, my voice steady despite my shaking hands. "I have the documents right here," she replied, her tone shifting to defensive. "It's all legal. I didn't want to bring it up earlier because I felt bad for you, but I need you to move out by the end of the month." Grandma was in the ICU on that date. She couldn't have signed anything. "Well, the documents say otherwise. Look, I'll give you some time to find a place. Maybe 2 months. I'm not heartless." I hung up without another word. What Jennifer doesn't know is that I'm not just a software engineer. I also have a law degree that I earned through night school, though I never took the bar. More importantly, I have connections in both legal and forensic accounting circles from my work in tech compliance. And I have something Jennifer never counted on, every single medical record from Grandma's final year, including detailed notes about her condition during that hospital stay. I immediately contacted Thomas, a friend from law school who now works in white-collar crime. He connected me with Sarah, a forensic document examiner, and Robert, a forensic accountant who specializes in estate fraud. Within 72 hours, we had assembled enough evidence to blow Jennifer's scheme wide open. The forensic examination revealed multiple issues with the documents. The ink used was inconsistent with other documents Grandma signed during that period. A microscopic analysis showed the signature was traced, not naturally written. The notary whose seal appeared on the document had their license suspended 2 years before the supposed signing date. The paper itself was from a batch manufactured 3 months after the document's date. But here's where it gets interesting. Robert, the forensic accountant, discovered that Jennifer had been planning this for years. She had opened a shell company with a name similar to Grandma's estate. Been practicing Grandma's signature. We found images on her cloud storage through a legal subpoena. Paid $15,000 to someone named Gary who, we discovered, was a disgraced notary operating illegally. Transferred money between multiple accounts to hide the payment trail. Yesterday, I filed a formal complaint with the district attorney's office for fraud, forgery, and elder abuse, retroactive, given the attempted theft from Grandma's estate. Because the property value exceeds $2 million and involves interstate commerce, Gary operated from Nevada, this qualifies for federal charges. The FBI's white-collar crime division has already expressed interest. But I'm not stopping there. I've also filed a civil lawsuit for attempted theft, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. They initiated a quiet title action to clear any cloud on the property deed. I reported Jennifer to the IRS for potential tax fraud. She didn't report the $500,000 inheritance. I contacted her employer, she's a real estate agent, with evidence of her fraud, which will likely result in license revocation. Jennifer has no idea what's coming. She texted me yesterday asking when I'd be moving out, even sending me links to apartment rentals. She's already told our parents that Grandma secretly gave her the house and that she's being generous by giving me time to relocate. My parents, David and Susan, are another story. They've always favored Jennifer, the golden child who could do no wrong. When I told them about the fraud, my mother said, maybe there was a misunderstanding. You know Jennifer wouldn't do something like that. My father added, don't make this into something bigger than it needs to be. Families should work these things out privately. They'll learn soon enough that their daughter is a criminal. I've already moved all important documents to a safety deposit box, installed security cameras throughout the property, and hired a property management company to document the chain of custody. My lawyer says Jennifer could face 5 to 10 years in federal prison for wire fraud alone, not counting state charges. The best part? Jennifer just put a deposit down on a new Mercedes, telling the dealer she's about to come into some property she's selling. That lease application is now evidence of fraud based on false pretenses. I'm not a vengeful person by nature, but Jennifer crossed a line. She tried to steal not just my inheritance, but the place where I built memories with our grandmother. She dishonored Grandma's memory and violated the trust of our family. For that, I will use every legal means at my disposal to ensure she faces the full consequences of her actions. I'll update when the arrests happen. It should be any day now. Update 1, 2 weeks later. The hammer has fallen, and it fell harder than even I expected. Jennifer was arrested at her real estate office yesterday morning. According to her coworker who called me, we dated briefly in college and remained friendly. 2 FBI agents and 3 local police officers walked in at 10 a.m., asked for Jennifer by name, and arrested her in full view of her colleagues and several clients. She was handcuffed and led out while crying and insisting it was a misunderstanding. The charges are extensive. A wire fraud, federal. A mail fraud, federal. A conspiracy to commit fraud, federal. A forgery, state. A grand theft, state. A elder abuse, state. A identity theft, state. A filing false documents, state. Her bail was set at $750,000. She called our parents from jail, and that's when the family explosion happened. My mother called me screaming, literally screaming, that I had destroyed our family. How could you do this to your sister? She's facing prison. They arrested her at work. She tried to steal a $2.8 million house from me, Mom, I replied calmly. She said Grandma gave it to her. There must be a misunderstanding. Mom, I have forensic proof that she forged the documents. The FBI doesn't arrest people for misunderstandings. My father got on the phone next. Michael, you need to drop these charges immediately. We'll work this out as a family. I can't drop federal charges, Dad. That's not how it works. The government is prosecuting her now. Then refuse to testify. Don't cooperate. I've already provided all the evidence. It doesn't matter if I testify or not at this point. She committed federal crimes. What came next shocked me. My father said, if you don't fix this, you're no longer welcome in our home. You're choosing property over family. No, Dad. Jennifer chose crime over family. I'm just choosing justice. They hung up on me. But here's where it gets worse for Jennifer. Remember Gary, the disgraced notary she paid? He was arrested too and immediately flipped. He's provided full cooperation to the FBI, including recordings of Jennifer coaching him on how to make the forgery look legitimate. Apparently, he recorded their conversations for insurance. He's looking at 2 to 3 years with cooperation. Jennifer's looking at 8 to 12 years now. Her real estate license has been emergency suspended. Her broker terminated her immediately, citing a morality clause in her contract. She can't work in real estate anywhere in the state now, pending the formal revocation hearing. My uncle Christopher, Dad's brother, called me yesterday. He said, your parents are in denial, but the rest of the family knows Jennifer has always been shady. We support you. It turns out Jennifer had borrowed money from various family members over the years, always with elaborate stories, never repaying. My Aunt Linda told me Jennifer had tried to get her to invest in a real estate opportunity just last month, probably planning to use the money for her legal defense. Jennifer's ex-husband, Brian, reached out through Facebook. He said, "Now you know why I divorced her. Check your credit report. Check your bank statements. She's been doing this kind of thing for years." Following his advice, I discovered she had tried to open a credit card in my name 6 months ago. The application was denied due to a fraud alert I had coincidentally placed after a data breach at my gym. The forensic accountant, Robert, has uncovered more. Jennifer had searched online for how to forge signatures, elderly signing documents legal, and statute of limitations property fraud California over the past 2 years. She had also researched Grandma's signature extensively, even buying a book on handwriting analysis. Here's the kicker, she wasn't just trying to steal from me. Robert found evidence that she had attempted to access Grandma's investment accounts after her death, using forged documents. Those attempts failed because the investment firm had better security protocols, but it establishes a pattern of behavior that prosecutors love. Jennifer made bail yesterday. Our parents took out a second mortgage on their house, and she immediately violated the restraining order by coming to the house. I have it all on camera, her pounding on the door, screaming that I'm a pathetic loser who never deserved anything from Grandma. She threatened to destroy my life, and said I would regret this until the day I die. The police arrested her again. The judge revoked her bail. She's now sitting in county jail awaiting trial, and our parents can't get their $750,000 back. My mother has called me 17 times today. I haven't answered once. Update 2, 6 weeks later. The last 6 weeks have been a masterclass in watching someone's life completely implode through their own actions. Jennifer's legal team, paid for by my parents liquidating their retirement accounts, tried to negotiate a plea deal. The federal prosecutor, a woman named Rebecca who seems to genuinely enjoy her job, laughed at their initial offer. Jennifer's lawyer proposed 2 years probation with community service. Rebecca countered with 7 years in federal prison. They're now negotiating around 5 years. But Jennifer, in her infinite wisdom, decided to make things worse. Against her lawyer's advice, she gave an interview to a local news station from jail, claiming she was the victim of a vindictive brother who manipulated the system. She actually said on camera, "My grandmother loved me more. She wanted me to have that house. Michael is just jealous because he was never the favorite." That interview has been viewed over 3 million times on YouTube. The comments are brutal. Someone found Jennifer's old social media posts, including one from the day after Grandma's funeral where she wrote, "Can't wait to get what's mine. House moneybag #inheritance #blessed." The FBI expanded their investigation based on tips that came in after the interview. 3 other elderly clients from Jennifer's real estate practice have come forward, claiming she convinced them to sell their homes under market value to buyers she was secretly representing. She was double-ending deals and lying about property values. The State Real Estate Commission is now pursuing criminal charges separate from my case. Our extended family has completely fractured. My aunts and uncles on my father's side have sided with me. My mother's family is split. Thanksgiving was interesting. I spent it with my uncle Christopher and his family. According to my cousin Aaron, my parents spent it alone after Jennifer's husband, oh yeah, she got married 8 months ago to someone named Kevin, no one knew, filed for divorce and annulment, claiming fraud because she lied about her financial situation. Kevin reached out to me last week. Turns out Jennifer had told him she was inheriting the San Francisco house and they could live there. He'd given her $50,000 from his savings for renovations that she actually used for her legal defense. He's now suing her for fraud too. He seems like a decent guy who got conned. The forensic investigation keeps revealing more. Jennifer had created 3 fake email accounts impersonating family members. Attempted to change the beneficiaries on Grandma's life insurance after her death. Stolen checks from Grandma's checkbook during her final months. Used Grandma's credit card for $30,000 in purchases after her death. The elder abuse charges have been upgraded to include financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. The state prosecutor, James, told me this could add another 3 to 5 years to her sentence. My parents' situation has deteriorated rapidly. After mortgaging their house for bail money they'll never recover, they've had to sell their vacation cabin and liquidate their investments for Jennifer's legal fees. My father had to delay his retirement. My mother has been prescribed antidepressants. They still refuse to accept that Jennifer is guilty, despite overwhelming evidence. Last week, my mother sent me a letter. It was 10 pages of accusations, calling me everything from heartless to evil to not the son I raised. She claimed I had destroyed our family and that she would never forgive me. She ended it by saying she wished I had never been born. I sent back a 1-line response, "Jennifer destroyed our family when she chose to become a criminal." My father followed up with his own email, threatening to disinherit me. I replied with a copy of their current financial statements, public record from Jennifer's bail hearing, showing they have nothing left to inherit. Meanwhile, I've been working with my legal team to ensure the house is completely protected. We've placed it in an irrevocable trust. Obtained title insurance with extended coverage. Filed declarations with the county explicitly documenting the fraud attempt. Created a comprehensive paper trail of ownership. The house has also appreciated to $3.1 million according to a recent appraisal. I'm considering selling it and moving somewhere without these memories, but part of me wants to keep it as a reminder that standing up for yourself is worth it, no matter the cost. Jennifer's trial is set for next month. The prosecution has indicated they have 47 witnesses lined up, including Gary, the corrupt notary, 3 forensic experts, 5 of Grandma's nurses who will testify about her condition, and 12 members of her medical team who treated her during the period she supposedly signed the documents. Jennifer's defense? She's now claiming I manipulated Grandma into leaving me the house through undue influence. The irony of her accusing me of what she actually attempted would be funny if it weren't so pathetic. Final update, 4 months later. I'm writing this from the deck of my grandmother's house, my house, watching the San Francisco Bay as the fog rolls in. Jennifer's trial concluded 2 weeks ago, and I finally feel ready to share the ending to this saga. The trial was a massacre. Jennifer's defense team tried everything, claiming mental illness, blaming her ex-husband for pressuring her, even suggesting I had somehow fabricated the evidence. None of it stuck. The forensic evidence was overwhelming, and Gary's testimony was devastating. He brought receipts, recordings, and text messages. One text from Jennifer read, "Make sure the signature looks perfect." My grandmother was old and shaky, so add a little tremor to make it realistic. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. The federal charges resulted in a wire fraud, 5 years. A mail fraud, 5 years, concurrent. A conspiracy, 3 years, concurrent. A total federal sentence, 5 years. The state charges resulted in forgery, 3 years. A grand theft, 4 years. A elder abuse, 5 years. A identity theft, 2 years. A filing false documents, 1 year. A total state sentence, 8 years, some concurrent, some consecutive. Combined, Jennifer is facing 11 years in prison with possibility of parole after 7 years if she behaves. She's 30 now. She'll be at least 37 when she gets out, possibly 41. The sentencing hearing was emotional. Jennifer's lawyer pleaded for mercy, citing her previously clean record and momentary lapse in judgment. The judge, an elderly woman named Patricia, cosmic irony, wasn't having it. She said, "Ms. Jennifer, you didn't have a momentary lapse. You planned and executed an elaborate fraud against your own family, dishonoring your grandmother's memory and attempting to steal from your brother. You've shown no remorse, only regret at being caught. This sentence reflects the severity of your crimes and the need to deter others from similar actions." Jennifer broke down crying. She turned to our parents and wailed, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Then she turned to me and said, "Michael, please, I'm your sister." I said nothing. There was nothing to say. My parents were devastated. My mother collapsed and had to be helped out of the courtroom. My father just stared at me with pure hatred. Outside the courthouse, he said, "I hope you're happy. You got your revenge." "No, Dad," I replied. "I got justice. There's a difference." That was the last time we spoke. I've heard through family that they're in therapy now, finally coming to terms with who Jennifer really is. They've had to sell their house to pay for her legal fees and their debts. They're living in a small apartment now, my father working at 67 when he should be retired, my mother taking anti-anxiety medication and seeing a psychiatrist twice a week. The extended family has been supportive of me. Uncle Christopher helped me find a therapist to deal with the trauma of all this. Aunt Linda organized a family dinner, parents and Jennifer excluded, where everyone expressed their support. Cousin Aaron, who's a financial advisor, has helped me set up better protections for my assets. I've also been in touch with some of Jennifer's other victims. We've formed a support group of sorts. One elderly woman, Margaret, told me Jennifer had convinced her to sell her home for $200,000 under market value. Margaret is suing Jennifer's former real estate company, and I provided supporting documentation for her case. Kevin, Jennifer's ex-husband, and I have actually become friends. He's a software developer too, and we've grabbed beers a few times. He told me Jennifer had convinced him she was a successful real estate mogul with millions in assets. She'd created fake bank statements and everything. He's still in therapy dealing with the betrayal. As for the house, I've decided to keep it. I've renovated Grandma's old office into a library and hung her portrait above the fireplace. I found her journals during the renovation, and she'd written about both Jennifer and me. About Jennifer, she wrote, "I love her, but I don't trust her. She has a darkness in her that worries me." About me, "Michael has his grandfather's heart. He'll do the right thing, even when it's hard." She knew. She always knew. I've also discovered more about Jennifer's past. Her ex-husband Brian reached out again with more information. She'd apparently stolen from her college roommate, committed credit card fraud against an ex-boyfriend, and even tried to claim false injury from a car accident. There's a pattern going back at least 12 years. My parents either didn't know or refused to see it. The financial aftermath for Jennifer is complete destruction. She owes $180,000 in legal fees, $50,000 to Kevin, $75,000 in IRS penalties and back taxes, $2.8 million to me in civil damages. I won the civil case by default when she didn't respond, $500,000 in restitution to her elderly victims. She'll never be able to pay it all back. She'll likely declare bankruptcy, but fraud judgments aren't dischargeable. This will follow her forever. I've been asked if I regret anything. The answer is no. Jennifer made her choices. She could have been content with the $500,000 she inherited, more than most people see in a lifetime. Instead, her greed and entitlement led her to commit multiple felonies. She destroyed our family, ruined our parents' retirement, and violated the memory of our grandmother. Some people have called me heartless for putting my sister in prison. To them, I say, I didn't put her there. She put herself there through years of deliberate criminal actions. All I did was refuse to be her victim. I'm now working on establishing a scholarship in my grandmother's name at her alma mater. It's for students studying real estate law and ethics, because apparently, some people need formal education in not being criminals. My therapist asked me recently if I've forgiven Jennifer. I told her forgiveness requires repentance, and Jennifer has shown none. She's only sorry she got caught. Maybe someday, years from now, if she actually accepts responsibility and changes, we can have some form of relationship. But that day is not today, and I'm at peace with that. To those facing similar situations with toxic family members, document everything. Get professional help. Don't let family be an excuse for criminal behavior. And remember, you didn't break the family by exposing the crime. They broke it by committing the crime. I'm closing this chapter of my life now. The house is secure, justice has been served, and I'm moving forward. Grandma's house stands as a testament to doing the right thing, even when it costs you everything. Especially when it costs you everything. Because some things, integrity, justice, and truth, are worth more than a toxic family's approval. Edit. Thank you for all the support. To those asking, yes, this is real. Yes, I have all the documentation. No, I don't regret it. And yes, I'm in therapy to process all of this. It's been helpful. To those saying I should have handled it privately, we tried that. Jennifer chose escalation. When someone commits federal crimes, it's no longer a family matter. And to my parents, who I know have found this post, the door remains open if you ever want to have an honest conversation about what Jennifer did. But I won't pretend it didn't happen, and I won't apologize for protecting what Grandma left me. She knew who deserved her legacy. Deep down, you know it too.